Welcome to the Bookbibuli podcast. After a stressful exam, many people find solace in the pages of a comforting novel or an engaging story. It is time to unwind and escape into these worlds, which are far removed from the pressures of academia. Whether it's delving into the pages of a thrilling mystery, exploring the realms of fantasy, or immersing oneself in the lives of intriguing characters, reading offers a much needed respite. With a warm cup of tea or coffee in hand, readers can relax, recharge, and let their imaginations roam freely, finding peace and tranquility in the embrace of a good book. And this is what our series is about. It's about children who found solace in books after their boards were done. And we have Zitin with us today, who shall talk about the love for books.
Hi, my name is Zitin. I'm 16 years old and I'm an avid reader. Reading has always been a way for me to relax. It's been a hobby of mine and always has brought me so much of happiness. So, since my board examinations came to an end, the first thing I did was sleep, but the next thing I did was pick up a book to read and revive my love for reading. And the book series I chose to do that with was the Inheritance Game series.
Well, hello, Zitin. Yes, Inheritance Games by Jennifer Barnes. Gripping mystery thriller that entwines secrets, wealth, and high-stake game of inheritance. When Avery Grambs unexpectedly inherits the fortune of billionaire Tobias Hawthorne, she's thrust into a world of opulence and intrigue. But as she navigates the lavish Hawthorne estate and its eccentric family members, Avery discovers that the inheritance comes with a catch. With twists at every turn and suspense that keeps readers guessing. This is a captivating tale of deception, ambition, and the power of unexpected legacies. Well, the Hawthorne brothers have a lots of ups and downs throughout the series. What did you feel were the most triumphant moments for each of them? But especially I'd like to focus on Grayson and Jameson. And what were the moments that left them most shattered?
So, if we talk about the two brothers, Grayson and Jameson Hawthorne, who are two of the main characters of the series, they've had many triumphant moments. If we look at Grayson specifically, I feel Grayson's achievements can't be boiled down to one particular moment, because I think he's had lots of moments of revelation and reflection that led to his greatest triumph, which, according to me, would be his character growth. He learned that he had to let go. Throughout the series, he appears to be a perfectionist. He blamed himself for every little mistake, especially since his entire life he was always considered the heir apparent. But slowly, as we progressed through the books, he realized that his life is so much more than the Hawthorne legacy. Initially, he was furious because his grandfather disinherited him, but later he embraced it. He, by the end of the third book, planned to help Avery distribute 94% of her inheritance effectively and efficiently to charitable causes. I mean, isn't that great? This, I believe, was the most triumphant moment because I felt that this was a way he could finally move on and continue to grow as a person and as a character. Now, what left Grayson most shattered, I feel, was feeling responsible for Emily's death, even though it wasn't his fault. But he continued to blame himself for it, and it can be seen that his guilt begins to consume him throughout the books. I think seeing him suppress his emotions and being so raw, broken, and vulnerable was one of his shattering moments. Now, coming to Jameson, what I loved about Jameson was that even after everything, the disinheritance, he continued to look for the next clue and try to solve the mystery that his grandfather had left him and his brothers. He had this hunger, as his mother described, or this sense of drive that can be seen as a constant, which never leaves him. And that's an interesting quality to read in a character. His most triumphant moment was, and not to make this all sappy, but the true achievement, I feel, was seeing him be selfless in his relationship and friendship with Avery. He was portrayed as someone who always thinks about himself first, has this hunger and treats everything like a game. But seeing him be real, vulnerable, and putting Avery first rather than himself as their relationship and dynamic deepens was truly a delight to see. I mean, I know both these moments for Grayson and Jameson don't seem conventionally triumphant, but I think these character arcs for both Jameson and Grayson are their true triumph, I would say. Something that was shattering to see in Jameson's character arc was something that reminded me, and this is something he says to Avery, and I quote, "He left you the fortune, Avery, but all he left us was you." Truthfully, it is shattering to see Jameson be so hopeless and helpless, because he is someone that is a very playful character. So to see someone like him feel helpless was a shattering moment. And, in this moment, you can see that Avery is his only beacon of hope. Only way he can truly understand his grandfather's puzzle and solve this mystery that his grandfather has left him. And even though this was a bit of a shattering moment, but I feel that it was a necessary one for the chronology of the book.
Moving on to the character of Avery. Avery is not just a bland cutout of a character. She has a feisty personality and an intellect to match. Which moment do you think showcased both of these aspects perfectly?
There are so many moments, but my favorite one was from the last book, The Final Gambit, when she challenges Vincent Blake to a chess match. That was just such an emotional roller coaster, honestly. The fate of so many people just resting on her shoulders. I mean, at that instance, in this moment, winning and losing both carried so much of weight, of course. But she, with her feisty personality, decided to use her intellect to help finish this whole fiasco for good. And what I loved most about this, in hindsight, now that I think about it, that it was all unplanned, it was spontaneous. At that time, that was the only move that she was left with. This is something that she thought of at that moment. And that just shows how brave and how truly fierce she was. And, in response to her challenging Vincent Blake to a chess match, Vincent Blake at that time decided that Toby, even Avery will play against each other. He himself won't play. And, just like that, Vincent Blake threw so many obstacles in her way, but the way she just navigated through it all was truly commendable, and that is a great reflection on her personality and her character.
And then there is Tobias Hawthorne, dead, standing in the shadows, while casting his own shadow over the entire story. I wonder, what would you say makes the old man larger than life?
What made Tobias Hawthorne larger than life is that after his death, he continued to live in the minds and the hearts of the people the media, the world, his own families. Infamously so, but he did. Constantly, everyone had only one question in their head. What was Tobias Hawthorne thinking? Why did he do what he did? Nobody expected it. Tobias Hawthorne left almost his entire fortune to Avery Grambs, a girl who had no connection to the Hawthorne family, and the Hawthorne family had no connection to her. Tobias Hawthorne left his grandsons with a series of clues and puzzles to solve, and so after his death, he managed to live and be larger than life itself by living vicariously through these puzzles and clues. He was not constrained by the shambles of something as fickle as life, and so he managed to be larger than life itself.
Riddles are an integral part of the story. Which riddle is your favorite, and which one did you figure out before the story got to it?
Riddles are truly an integral part of the series, and they're something that really drew me to the series. They got me hooked and captivated, and I wanted more each and every time. Now, this isn't exactly a riddle, but a mystery that I sort of predicted or guessed was Avery Grambs' mother's secret. Many times, in the first book especially, you see mentions of Avery remembering her mother saying, and I quote, "I have a secret from the day you were born." And I realized that this is something that was being reiterated and mentioned in the books a lot. On the other hand, Toby's secret and the mystery of how he died or how he disappeared, that was also a topic of discussion and a subject that was being mentioned in the book a lot. And it was a reach, but I thought maybe Avery's mother and Toby have some relation or some connection. Honestly, my guess was that Toby would be Avery's father, and that would be the relation between Avery's mother and Toby. However, I was proved wrong because Toby was not Avery's father, but I was right in thinking that there was a relation or some connection between Avery's mother and Toby, a significant one at that. So, yes, that is something that I sort of predicted or guessed prior to it being justified or explained in the books.
Despite the cliffhangers of the first two books, the final book ends on the Queen's Gambit. How did you feel about the story coming together?
I feel that the final book, The Final Gambit, was a perfect and such a well-written end to the trilogy. Towards the end, every character gets its necessary character arc and development. Avery settles in at her place in the Hawthorne mansion and brings a crisp end to Tobias Hawthorne's legacy when she decides to distribute 94% of her inheritance to charitable causes within the next 5 years. She, by the end of the book, has built a strong and healthy relationship with each and every Hawthorne sibling. And, each Hawthorne brother moves on to a new chapter in their life. Interestingly, in the end, Avery announces that she will host a contest with substantial life-changing prize money. And, some years the competition would be opened to the general public, and others she may open the competition on the basis of exclusive invitation. This competition would have clues and puzzles of her and the Hawthorne brothers making, and I think that this is a wonderful ending because this, in some ways or the other, is keeping the true Hawthorne legacy alive. The real Hawthorne legacy was not the money and the wealth that Tobias Hawthorne had accumulated. I think, and I truly believe, that the real Hawthorne legacy were these clues, these puzzles, these mysteries. And they were a crucial part about being a true Hawthorne. Even though it might seem that by distributing Avery's inheritance, she was erasing the Hawthorne legacy, to the contrary, I feel that she is keeping it very much alive. through this contest. So, yes, I think the book came to a very wholesome end indeed.
Tell us, Zitin, who would you recommend this book to?
The Inheritance Games series is a gripping mystery series. It contains complex characters, intricate family dynamics, and a lot of suspense and intrigue. This trilogy has lots of themes of legacy, truth, mystery, identity. If you are reading this, you will be drawn into the world of secrets, puzzles, the unexpected twists, and the clues that Tobias Hawthorne has left his family and his grandsons. I recommend the series to anyone that loves mystery, suspense, and enjoys a good deal of family drama.
Thank you, Zitin. And that's the North Star Book of the Week, The Inheritance Games, to be read by the recommendation of our program, the North Star program, which provides expert guidance every step of the way, ensuring that you get the most out of your reading experience. Share your thoughts, theories, favorite moments, and gain invaluable insight from others in a vibrant community. The North Star program not only gives you character analysis or thematic exploration, there's something for everyone to enjoy. There are events, there's podcasts, there's blog, and we help you navigate this extremely rich world of books. And now it's time for Bookbibuli Read Record. Here's what stands out to me. The book has prose which is sharp and engaging in style, and that keeps readers hooked from start to finish. The language is descriptive, immersive, and peppered with clever dialogues. There is a building up of tension and suspense throughout the language, making each page turn irresistible. And then the plot, which is intricately constructed, filled with twists, turns, and unexpected revelations. The characters are multidimensional. In fact, there is a slew of characters. They have their own individual complexities, each somehow broken like shards of glass. Somehow, each character makes you remember them, makes you think how they could not have shattered, why they deserved or did not deserve that pain. Enigmatic Tobias Hawthorne, his equally enigmatic children, his grandchildren, and so many others, and on such a large scale. At its core, it explores themes of family, wealth, identity, and the complexities of human nature. It delves into questions of loyalty, trust, and the lengths people will go to protect what they perceive as rightfully theirs. The novel also examines the idea of legacy and the impact that one person's choice can have on the life of others. It's thought-provoking and will lead to some great discussions. This trilogy has to be read and then savored. And when you are done with it, you have to read The Brothers Hawthorne by the same author. Until next week, better read, read better.